not to sound too insensitive or out of touch with reality, but sometimes I feel like some of these housemates have actually forgotten the reason they auditioned for this show in the first place. I think most of them have actually forgotten the theme of the season, which is no lose guard. Because from the look of things, a lot of them have lost their guards. Even though it seems like they are all threading carefully, walking on eggshells, just tiptoeing around one another, not to offend the other person. But in the real sense of it, you can tell that a lot of them have actually missed it. They don't lose guard. In other words, they've been taken unawares in the game. Yes, they've been swallowed up by the game and not them swallowing up the game. I don't want to name names of housemates who I feel are actually getting it right, yes, but we're going to focus on Sooj on this video. Yeah, Sooj and his relationship with Shaun. Now, for those of you that watched my videos yesterday, there was one of those videos where I shared Sooj's conversation, Sooj's midnight conversation with Nelly, where Nelly had highlighted a lot of things that Shaun had been doing, how Shaun had been trying to manipulate her, and, sort of playing mind games with her, like outrightly playing mind games with her. And Sooj had confirmed everything that Nelly had said, because according to him, he had also noticed some traits in Shaun's personality that he had never seen before. Looking at the fact that both of them are actually very good friends, best friends. And when I say best friends, this is not overlooking Topher's position in Sooj's life. No, all right? We acknowledge the fact that Sooj and Topher came into the house together as buddies, as colleagues, yes, but there is the friendship that was developed in the house, and that is the one between the two friends, that is Sooj and Topher and Shaun, yes. So that is how Shaun is their best friend, yes, because they've maintained that relationship from the very get-go. But since last week, Shaun has been moving funny. And it's weird to me that Sooj has been seeing things, but he's choosing to ignore the signs. He has been seeing the weird way that Shaun has been moving, and he's been ignoring the signs. Like, it's right there in his face, but he's choosing not to see them. Like, he's choosing to just literally just move them aside and just focus on the friendship. On that video, I had made reference to the Ebuka's interaction with Wani on Sunday during the live eviction show, where Ebuka had exposed the conversation that had transpired between Shaun and Wani, where Shaun at first body shamed Nelly, and Wani had given her opinion on the conversation. I told you all that Sooj had tried having a conversation about it with Shaun, and Shaun was playing reverse psychology with him. Shaun was reversing the whole situation and putting all the blame on Wani for having an opinion about Nelly's body, disregarding the fact, in fact, completely removing himself from a situation where the fact lies in that he was the one that first made a comment about Nelly's body. That, oh, it's funny if Sooj still thinks that Nelly's bum is real. And one year I said, oh, look at her hips. They didn't even construct it properly. So Shaun in that conversation was transferring all the blame to Wani, that, oh, she's a woman, girls can be very competitive with each other, girls can open their mouth and say whatever they want to say, blah, blah, blah. But when Nelly had that conversation with Shaun, guys, Shaun was equally playing mind games. And then when Shaun had that conversation with someone else, he had mentioned that he doesn't really care about how both Sooj and Nelly feels about what he said, that he's right there. If they want to give a reaction, they should come to him. He's ready for anything. Like, guys, from all indications, you can see that Shaun no longer gives a fuck about friendships. The same thing he did with Sooj, that was the same thing he did with them, by the way, twins, on Monday morning in the gym, where, despite the fact that he knew that Oz was flipping lying and denying the fact that he had actually kissed Onyeka and was heavily defending himself against the world, against all the evidences, all the receipts, he still opened his mouth and exposed Ozzy and OC all together, including Onyeka and Chisom. In fact, this guy literally exposed all of them. Exposed all of them because he had seen enough. He had been seeing the way they've been playing, you know, and for him, these people are just using bestie to cover the fact that there's a possibility that they are all friends with benefits. So he had gone ahead to expose what he had seen in the Saturday night Bedu, where in that party room, OZ had leaned forward from behind to try to kiss Onyeka. Onyeka was also leaning in for the kiss. Now, Shaun did not say if they actually kissed, but he said their lips were almost touching. And Ozzy was fighting for his life with the way he was defending. And then he had also exposed OC, that he had caught OC and Chizoba, and he wasn't the only one that caught them. That there were other people, about 4 people, that pointed, that drew his attention to what was going on. And those people, they were keen on that because that was a conversation that's been going on in the house where Ozzy had been denying, and then lo and behold, they had caught them, by the way, twins, red-handed in the party room with the Checkers sisters, doing the same thing that Ozzy had been denying all week. Now, on a normal day, one would think that, okay, Shaun is equally best friends with them, by the way, twins, right? And so he's not going to throw his friends under the bus. He's going to consider the fact that these guys have got relationships outside. So whatever he sees in the house, he's going to observe the rules of bro code by not spilling. But that was not the case. Ladies and gentlemen, Shaun understands the game. He understands that they are all in a situation of dog eat dog. If you do not put this one up, he will put you up. Because at the end of the day, friendship or not, and by the way, twins are not going to say, oh, Shaun is our best friend, let's give Shaun the 100 million. No, they will do whatever it takes to kick him out of the house so that they get closer to the money. So Shaun understands the game. He has calculated everything. And so he had decided that, nah, I'm not going to keep quiet. So the same thing he did to Sooj and Nelly, that was the same thing he did on Monday to the Mbadiwe twins. So we saw OC's reaction. Guys, I did a video about it. If you missed out on that video, please go ahead and check it out. Yeah. Now, Sooj has seen all of these things. He has observed what's going on. And then also looking at the fact that Shaun was directly, like outrightly attacking his personality and his relationship with Nelly. That completely shook him because he did not see it coming. He did not think that Shaun was capable of such betrayal. In fact, the biggest shocker for him laid in the fact that Shaun is always smiling, according to him and Nelly. Shaun is always smiling, is always, you know, in a good mood, good vibes. Nobody sees him as a threat. Nobody sees him as a bad person, you know, because he's always chilled, just chilled. Oh, everything about Shaun is just laid back, sometimes lazy, which is the reason why the whole house was happy that Shaun was the head of house with Victoria last week. Because in their heads, oh, this guy, he's always getting pampering from the 1AX Handy sisters, you know. So this is the time for him to take up responsibility and serve the whole house as the head of house. So everybody was happy, you know, to see Shaun take up the mantle of leadership and responsibility for the first time. But what these people do not know is that this guy, on that very high pedestal that he has placed himself, is literally looking at all of them like peasants. Like, yes, all ye peasants, I'm going to fuck you all up this week. This guy is looking at all of them and thinking of how to sabotage their games. And that's exactly what Shaun has been doing since last week Sunday. Since last week Sunday. And he has not relented. And guess what? Everybody is collecting. His best friends in the house, they don't collect. Like they've received his lashing. By the way, twins, Sooj, and now Wani yesterday. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Shaun is on a roll. But this video is not about Shaun. This video is about Sooj and his relationship with Shaun. So in his diary session yesterday, after discussing everything, responding to all of people's questions, you know, he had opened up to Big Brother about his concerns, about his fears, and his shock at these things he has noticed from Shaun. And this guy has cited so many instances, so many scenarios, all of which I actually explained to all of you on that video I did. And Big Brother had, you know, he had asked Big Brother what Big Brother thinks. Like, is he overreacting, or is he seeing too much things that, oh, there's the information that Nelly is sharing to him, and then there's also some of the things that he's also observing. So Big Brother told him that, okay, that's in the light of it all, you should remember that most of these things he's talking about are all hearsay. But at the same time, because he was asking for advice, yeah, so Big Brother advised him that he should be very alert, and he should not lose his guard. In other words, no lose guard. And he thanked Big Brother and left the diary room. Now, I had listened to Sooj's diary session, and I felt really bad for him because, see, if you follow me on Twitter, that's the X app, you would have seen my tweets every time the Aces pair, the former Aces pair, used to have the diary session. There's one thing I always commend them about. You know, it's the fact that they are not malicious. Their energy is pure. Their energy is clean. They do not have any malicious, you know, tendencies to display or any malicious intent to anybody, towards anybody in the house at all. Guys, I think they are the only pair they've actually seen that are, okay, Sooj is more competitive in the arena, but when it comes to, you want to plot and plot and plot and deal with somebody, you know, all these malicious things, vindictive, they don't have that bone for it. For them, they just want to come into the house and possibly use shipping as their strategy. Yeah. So listening to him express his pain, his hurt at Shaun's betrayal, at Shaun's unwarranted attacks, I felt bad for him because, going back to my quote at the start of this video, it just occurred to me that this guy has completely forgotten about the theme of the season. That this guy is probably not really aware of the vile things that people can do on this Big Brother Naija show to get ahead in the game. This guy is possibly not aware of how far people can go to betray people, to manipulate people, to kick people out just to get to that pot of gold, to emerge the winner on the show. So I listened to all of his complaints. I felt really bad for him because the guy looked so sorry. Like I felt sorry for him, to be quite honest with you. And the only thing I could hope for him is that he wakes up from his slumber and realize that this is the game. The fact that Shaun is playing the game the way he's playing the game, it does not make him a bad person. It only makes him very competitive, very calculative, and very strategic. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below what you think about how Shaun is playing his game and how Sooj is taking it, you know, the shock for Sooj. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thanks for watching and have an amazing day. Bye.